if someone is already struggling with their relationship with food and consequently their weight's going up and down, and if someone's already thinking about food and weight all of the time and it's a real problem for them and they'd like to be free of that, then, like I was saying to you earlier, having a healthy relationship with food is the consequence, in my opinion, of what's going on with someone in themselves and in their life, and the coping mechanisms that they have and the way that they're like processing emotions and all these different things. So if someone is struggling with disordered eating or binge eating, and they don't feel confident in their ability, let's say, to be assertive or to know what they want or what they need or communicate with people or have fun or any number of things, then that's what I call the life circle shrinking. The way I describe it is like if you imagine there's food and weight is like this, and then your life circle is everything else. So food and weight is a part of it. But then the more that comes out of life and the less that there is in life or in someone's sense of self, then just by sheer comparison, the more interesting food and weight become, the more important they become. And so a massive, massive, massive part of, in my experience and opinion, of gaining a healthy relationship with food and health and fitness that's coming naturally and it's not forced, is we've got to build that life cycle back out. You know, your sense of ability and sense of self and having fun and just all of these things that are fundamentally important to you, because unless that happens, you're basically condemning yourself to food and weight remaining as important as they are. And what I know from experience as well is that the more that someone cares about weight, the more likely they are to struggle with their relationship with food, and the more likely they are to not be naturally healthy and fit. You know, it's really, really ironic. And of course, and I say naturally healthy and fit because there are plenty of people out there who really, really care about their weight and you know, and what their body looks like, who are healthy and fit. But a lot of them, I would argue, just based on the conversations that I have, I can only base it on that. A lot of them, I would argue, is that it's not coming naturally to them. You know, because it's so important, they have to keep their eye on it. They have to keep their eye on food and the way that they're exercising. And the more that someone puts their eye on it, the more things can get out of control. Does that make sense? Yeah. And the harder it is, you know, I often say it to people, it's like, it's so hard to have everything riding on the way that your body looks and be chill about food and have a healthy relationship with food. And I often just describe it to them as like, okay, let's say, think of someone that you know has got a great relationship with food. They're balanced, they're healthy and fit. It's like super easy for them to do. And they've got great body image, they're confident in themselves. And let's imagine that we take that person who doesn't weigh themselves, they don't track anything ever, and we take them to the scale. I mean, like, both of you, like, look at their weight and like, okay, this is the weight that you are when you have a healthy relationship with food and good body image. Makes sense. And they've probably been stable, you know, within, you know, certain fluctuations. And then say you put a spell on them or a curse. It's like, right, from here on out, if that number goes up, even by a pound, then that day, and you've got to weigh yourself every day, then that day you are going to feel, you are going to feel miserable, insecure. You're not going to wear the things that you want to. You're not going to go out. You're not going to want to go out. You're going to have all of this negativity, and your confidence is going to go down. You're not going to feel like the best version of yourself. All of these things. What do you think is going to happen in someone's relationship with food? You know, like overnight, you know? Yeah. Because too much is riding on it. So then they are going to start analysing it. They are going to start looking at it. They are going to start planning these things because their confidence and literal sense of self is dependent on that number being the same the next day. I just don't see how anyone could have bad body image and and by that I mean have so much riding on what their body looks like and have a good relationship with food. Those two things just don't compute to me. And so the ironic thing is that the more that someone improves their body image, the easier it is to have a healthy relationship with food. You need both. You need both. You need both. But that's the part that scares people the most, is the body image stuff. You know, let's say that people around you will judge you for your body if it looks a certain way. Let's say that that's true. Why does that have to be your problem? You know? Like, that to me just seems like, that sounds like a them problem. And I know that that's like an easy, flippant thing to say. But it's so true, and the number of people that choose disordered eating day in and day out for no other reason than they're trying to please the people around them and be, be seen as something in someone else's eyes. And it's like, oh man, you know, it's not helpful. But that's what happens when and again, I know I always give this caveat, but I can't speak for everyone. I'm just saying, like, it does happen. That's what happens when your sense of confidence and sense of identity is completely external to you. Then other people's opinions and stuff, they really do matter because it forms your own opinion of yourself and your own sense of confidence. And that is an extremely vulnerable position to be put in. extremely vulnerable because we can't control other people's opinions. And also, then comes in the analysis. Then comes in the people pleasing, which has a whole host of issues in and of itself. And the more you people please, the more you're disregarding your own needs. Oh, look, now emotional eating is going up. And you see how it's all interconnected. You know, it's fascinating. It's really fascinating. And it might make it sound all really complicated. And in some ways it is, but in some ways it's really simple because all of these things link onto each other. Totally. I share it like that in the lesson that we have with the 5 areas, like all interlinking in each other. It's, often with clients and they come into the program, they're like, if you told me that we were going to be looking at assertiveness in this program before I signed up, I've literally heard this, I probably would have not joined in or been like, why is this relevant? It's like assertiveness is so important for someone's relationship with food and body image. And once they go through it and they're like, but man, I'm really glad that I did that. And now I'm not people pleasing anymore and getting my needs met. It's like, oh, I'm so fulfilled. And it's like, just by doing that and nothing else, my emotional eating kind of almost took care of itself, I've heard. And it's like, but again, it comes back to that point of people think it's just about the food. And that's the number one thing that trips them up because they're not doing any of this other stuff. Or it's literally just about getting that body because then I'll be happy because then other people's opinions will be something of me. And then I'll have a good opinion of myself and be really confident. So it's just about the body and it's just about the food and it's like, oh no. Assertiveness and not caring about other people's opinions, it's not, I don't see it as across the board. I don't care about other people's opinions. I really care about someone's opinion when they are impacted by the situation. Yeah. But if someone has an opinion on my body, it's like, well, why would I care about that? It doesn't impact you at all. And therefore it doesn't impact me at all. And I see clients get to that point and they're like, oh, I just don't care anymore. It's like, they're like, the whole of life opens up, you know? It's like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. But in order to get to that point that's possible and life can open up, that sense of confidence really, in my experience, it needs to be coming from within someone about themselves, which is like the most cliche thing to say. And it's like, okay, well then how does someone do that? You know, that's the fundamental question. Is you can't just say to someone, hey, you should probably just be confident in yourself and not worry about people's opinions. It's like, okay, well how? But how can I be confident if I'm not in that particular body? That just seems like denial, delusion, impossible fantasy talk. It's like, well, no, it's really possible. Once your opinion of yourself and you taking care of your needs actually does become more important than other people's opinions and other people's needs, then it happens. Then you're confident. Hi, lovely. Me and my team work with women who are struggling in their relationship with food, who would really like a healthy relationship with food and good body image and to just be out there again, thriving in life and in themselves. So if that is something that you want or need at the moment and you'd like to explore the option of potentially working together, then what you can do is you can head to our website, which is linked in the description. You can watch a lesson that I've put together, which will tell you all about my story and stories of clients and the approach that we use. And if you resonate with it and if it's suitable, then we can start off with an initial discovery call to discuss that option and get to know each other a little bit better.